kind of echo what the message was to the team. I mean, we could hear it a little bit, but just as you continue to move forward and shift that theme, how do you address them?
I just always think that your standard is your standard, and our expectation is for us to play at our best, and when you think about it, people always want to assess other factors other than yourself, and I would just want to focus on ourselves, and our standard is we got to go out and play great to beat a great team like this, and so that's really just our focal point.
I know you embrace these opportunities, obviously, but what's the most challenging part as you continue to move forward in the playoffs?
Well, beating great teams is the most challenging part. People talk about, well, they're from West Florida, they're coming to Michigan. For us, we've had challenges the last couple of days practicing. It's brutal today, isn't it? Brutal today, and so I'm probably the worst sissy when it comes to cold weather on the face of the earth. So I'm never happy being cold. So it's tough. It's tough to keep your guys focused and to make the best of your practices the last couple of days because it's been so brutally cold.
You guys keep continuing to achieve, and you get the last home game you possibly can as a program. Just what that means, and then also for your seniors, how proud you are for them to have that last opportunity.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. Our seniors have won now 61 games in 5 years, so that's just amazing to me. It just boggles my mind thinking about what people have done here. And then, being here playing on December 14th it's insane. Right now we're probably the only team in Michigan practicing. So that, at the end of the day, you celebrate that. You think about all the teams in the GLIAC that aren't practicing, and all the teams in the state that aren't practicing. And so at the end of the day, it gives our guys, a good perspective on being committed to a team, because we got true freshmen out here that are here every day just being scout team players. So they learn how to be committed to a team. And then for our other guys, they just get all these extra practices and all these extra games. I don't know how many extra games we've played in the last 3 years, but I'm sure it's a season worth. And so it just gives you extra seasons over time. So our guys that have been here 5 seasons, it's almost like they've been here, almost 7 seasons worth of games. So it's pretty incredible.
Tony, what's Florida? What do you see of them on the tape? Why were they able? What about them helped them beat a team like Valdosta and be here this far?
Well, first off, they 2 years ago they're in the finals. So they got to the finals before we got to the finals, and they were a 5-6 year program. So they're used to this. They went to IUP. I remember watching the game, actually. They went to IUP 2 years ago in a snow, in a bad conditions, and played very well and beat IUP in the semis. So this coach is a great coach. His staff is great. Their players play really hard. They've got something like 50 transfers, or either from Division I schools or junior college kids. So they got a lot of talent, and they play with a lot of energy, and their quarterback is as good a player as there is in Division II college football.
Coach, even when you're the favorite, and I'm not saying you are in this one, but overall, you always find a way to somehow sound like the underdog. And how do you create that mentality for your guys to have that chip on their shoulder?
Well, I've got a chip in my pocket, so I'm glad you said chip on your shoulder. So every one of our players got a chip at the beginning of the year. We made like a poker chip, and it says keep the chip. And so that's the coach's responsibility to have the players understand what that means. And we went through a whole dialogue of what keeping the chip means, and we've kept the chip. A lot of times people, even if you are the best team in America, sometimes you lose to teams that you shouldn't lose to. we've been lucky to keep our chip and to stay focused, and I couldn't be more proud of our guys, because it takes a lot of attention to detail, focus, and relentless passion for being the best in order to continue to be winning at this level. So, you know, I guess this is 27-1 the last 2 years, and so not a lot of people can say that. And, you know, I don't want to sound like I'm bragging because I'm the coach. It's the players that are doing it, but our players show up every day, and to be 27-1 in the last 2 years, let alone the year before, I think we were, you know, pretty good then too. So if you add up all the records of all the guys that have been here over the last few years, it's pretty amazing.
What's Evan's status, you know, like health-wise or playing-wise? Because, you know, like at this point, you know, you only played Travis last week. You don't really have any quarterbacks to lose. So do you feel like you might roll with him more this week?
Did you hear me yelling at him today? Is that what
No,
you're asking?
I
I did.
Evan is ready. You know, he's a very gifted young man and ready to go. And so I trust him a lot. He's got the capacity to really help us. So it's kind of a wait-and-see situation, how much we roll with him. But he's definitely got the capacity to go out there and take a lot of reps.
You mentioned you're the biggest sissy when it comes to cold weather, but they probably can't replicate this in practice this week. Do you feel like that gives you any sort of psychological advantage or anything, maybe at the outset, if those guys are worried about how cold it is on the sideline?
I told my guys last year we went to Arkadelphia to play Ouachita Baptist, and they were saying, well, the Michigan boys can't replicate how warm it is in Arkansas, and we couldn't, and we played probably our best game of the year. So sometimes, you know, having the right mentality about the challenge is the biggest factor. So I'm sure their coaches are coaching them up on having the right mentality. And, you know, we played Commerce here, Texas A&M Commerce, and Colby Carthel was the head coach, and he came out, you know, in just a polo with, you know, no sleeves or anything. And I looked at him like he was crazy because, you know, I mean, I got 12 layers on right now. So, you know, it's a mentality. I'm sure they're going to have the right mentality. If we think that, you know, weather is going to be the biggest force as our, you know, as our adversary or ally or whatever it is, it isn't. It's not going to be the adversary. It's not going to be the ally. They're going to be prepared. We're going to be prepared, and it's going to be done on the field.
Along those lines, Travis said he comes out here and warms up without a shirt on. Do you look at him a little differently for doing that? Do you wonder about him sometimes?
I don't know. You know, like Boonstra said to me today, Coach, if you came out today, he says, if you really want to motivate your team, and you came out today and just one you know shirt on, you know, we would be so inspired. And I'm like, well, screw you. I'm not coming out like that. I die. So Travis coming out like that is a little crazy for sure. But it's a mentality. He's just trying to send the message that, you know, that's who he is, and he's going to be the man that, you know, helps lead us and hopefully, you know, helps us lead us to victory.
You've had a couple of really great defensive efforts in the playoffs here. What can you say about that side of the ball, the effort they've put in the last couple games?
Oh, you know, I'd be happy if it was, you know, if it's 3 again. You know, it's been incredible. You know, last weekend it's like, well, I don't really have to take many risks on offense, and so that makes a big difference. You know, our defense has been outstanding, and we got another big test, but hopefully we play great again.